नमस्कार डॉक्टर पी आर गौरी शंकर जी, श्री के आनंद, श्रीमती चित्रा एम, the other trust members, students, alumni of Adi Shankara group of institutions, distinguished guests, and who are all working this virtual program and watching it online. I am very much pleased to join you all for the launch of Adi Shankara Digital Academy today. This Digital Academy is the latest addition to Sri Adi Shankara Educational Group and is aimed at giving the best online teaching experience, including traditional courses for national and international students. My dear young friends, there could not have been a better time to launch this noble initiative. According to UNESCO, more than 1.4 billion children in 166 countries were affected by school closures due to pandemic in April 2020. It is uncertain, we are not sure when the situation will come to total normalcy. We hope it will become a reality soon that we will be able to open up our schools. 84% of the total enrolled learners worldwide are affected. Even today, over 22 crore students are out of classrooms due to countrywide closure in 23 countries. To address this unprecedented disruption to learning and teaching activities, the world community has taken to online education. There is no doubt that COVID-19 pandemic has changed the educational landscape forever. Firstly, the switch on to online has several benefits. However, it has to be accessible and affordable to all. In a country like India, vast size and vast disparities between rural and urban areas. Online courses can help bridge the difference and enable students even in the remotest parts of the country to have access to quality education at an affordable cost. Thus, virtual classroom will available and enable everyone once there is an internet connection. Secondly, online classes will immensely help those not able to attend classes in person, such as working professionals and housewives. I'm sure that the courses started by Sri Adi Shankara Digital Academy will be very helpful for such groups in enhancing their skill sets and increasing their employability. Third important benefit of online education is the flexibility. It offers a wide selection of programs and allows for a personalized learning experience. Online study materials such as videos, photos, and e-books enable students to set their own pace and adopt a schedule that suits them best. These advantages clearly make online education a preferred choice, and it appears that the adoption of online learning will continue to persist post-pandemic period as well. The course of evolution of human civilization has been a saga of innovation in the making and the use of tools for improving the ease and the comfort of living. That is the purpose. From living by hunting to depending on the click of a button for all the needs of life is the synopsis of this huge transformation. Science and technology have made huge difference in the way we live. This is an ongoing quest that never ends. Interconnectedness through internet is the order of the present day of life. Artificial intelligence is set to further change the scheme of things. These are exciting times, brimming with opportunities but challenges accompany. Digitalization is the order of present day life. E-education, e-health, e-commerce, e-governance, etc. are the virtual reality now. And educational technology and online tutoring from the South Indian states have become more popular, and I expect to hear more names in the future in this field. Young minds should come forward and innovate to tap the potential offered by the edutech sector. Despite immense possibilities and scope of online education, we must also be realistic in terms of what it can deliver and what it cannot. It is true that online classes facilitate a better teacher-student interaction through chat groups, video meetings, voting, and document sharing, but it cannot replace the personal touch and warmth of a classroom. You understand, you feel the difference between a virtual and actual. My coming over there already, seeing the institutions, interacting the students was a different experience. And this virtual launching of the digital academy is another experience. The hasty adoption of online education, necessitated by COVID-19, has left much to be desired in terms of quality. Prior to this pandemic, neither students nor teachers were trained to interact in the virtual environment. That's a reality. Face-to-face classes and schools are important for various other reasons too. School is a great place for socializing for students. It enables students to imbibe values and discipline. In the famed Gurukul system in ancient India, their stress was upon a direct relationship between Guru and Sishya, what we call as Guru Sishya Parampara. The Sanskrit word used for Gurukul teacher is Upadhyaya, which literally means near whom that the students go for learning. Dear friends, this nearness or closeness to an able guru is very important to impart value-based and holistic education among the children. Education does not mean mere accumulation of knowledge. Education means enlightenment and empowerment of an individual who evolves into a better human being. It is important for students to be mentally agile and physically fit through sports and yoga. Apparently, this cannot be attained by online education alone. Therefore, the need of the hour is to develop a hybrid education model in which classes are conducted both online and offline for all-round development of the students, and when the situation permits. Technology provides us an opportunity to transform teaching and learning. It is time to put an end to rote learning and promote critical thinking, imagination, and innovation among the students. In view of the fast-changing technology, we need to constantly update and develop education models that suit the new era's demands. This again draws our attention to the wide digital divide that exists between rural and urban areas. Not only are these gaps in the digital infrastructure of rural India, digital literacy is also low, especially among the parents. Therefore, conscious policy decisions are required to support online education by state and central government, and also provide infrastructure by ensuring internet connectivity. I'm happy that the Government of India is already implementing several initiatives to address this disparity. Sensing the advantage of the information communication technology, Digital India has been launched a few years back so that India is not left out of the scope of Industrial Revolution 4.0. Having been late for the earlier three such revolutions, Digital India envisages empowering every citizen with technological entitlements that enable him to make the best of emerging opportunities in every domain of concern for his or her life. The main objective is to improve the quality of life in all possible ways. Technology, science, research, what is the ultimate objective? To make the life of the people more comfortable, more happy. Information is the main commodity in this knowledge society. Whoever has quick access to information has the advantage. Digitization is the medium of access to such information. The pace of dissemination of such information and access to it are the key determinations of the quality of present-day life. There is a competition among the world community. So we should not lag behind. Further to the telecom revolution in our country, the way of life has undergone an unimaginable transformation. The spread of mobile phones and growing internet penetration is aiding to the smartness of living. The contours and speed of this transformation inevitably throw up their own challenges. Is every citizen benefiting to the same extent? This is the principal change and challenge. Every social order is inherently inequitable. The goal of guided socio-economic transformation is to minimize the inherent inequalities besides preventing accentuation of existing inequalities as a new force of change begins to manifest. Digitalization is such a new factor of change and needs to be handled properly. In this information age, the main challenges are digital infrastructure, digital literacy, and digital access that makes or mar the ongoing revolution. This evolution is a revolution. COVID-19 pandemic, despite the havoc it has caused, has made people across the globe wake up to the need for a new normal of living. It forced us to learn how to keep the socio-economic process going on in times of how to keep it going in times of adversity. The learning includes working from home, learning from home, with digital platforms offering the solutions. This experience of living with Corona threw up questions like how many are equipped to live the digital way. Issues of availability of infrastructure, access to the required tools like computer and smartphones, speed and availability of internet came to the fore, for which solutions need to be found out. There has been an extensive use of digital technology in different sectors ever since the pandemic disrupted our normal routine. All through the Corona time, the courts in our country continue to function to a great extent, making use of technology. Even the judiciary has taken recourse to that. I must commend the Indian judiciary for digitally hearing and disposing of cases. Happy to learn. Yesterday, the minister was stating that the district courts have disposed of more than 35 lakh cases. High courts have dealt with around 14 lakh matters. And the Supreme Court, the highest court of the land, more than 30,000 matters. The Supreme Court needs to be complimented for taking the lead in this regard. This is the way forward. Education institutions have begun to function under restrictions using technology. E-medicine has found new traction. Working from home has proved to be a big success, showing the way for the future. E-delivery of government services and entitlements in our country is proving to be effective with huge gains. You have seen Janadhana, where everybody is provided with an account. JAM, Aadhaar, mobile, Janadana, Aadhaar and mobile, money reaching people directly. So in a sense, this is the era of a digital life. The virtual reality is the new reality. In the process, we should not miss out the essence of life. The Prime Minister is a great transformationist. He said, reform, perform, and transform. Transformation of the nation. Nation means people, their life. Life should not be reduced to a mechanical way of coping with situations. The vibrance of life, including the manifestation of feelings, sentiments, fellowship, shared common good, and spiritual awakening needs to be given their space. The World Bank estimates improved access to net adds to GDP growth. In our country, it is said that the internet revolution can add about $1 trillion to our GDP by 2025. This indicates the scope and potential of technology and process improvement through innovation. To enable the inevitable course of digitalization to be more equal, the Government of India has launched several programs aimed at improving infrastructure, literacy, access, etc. The BharatNet project strives to build broadband connectivity in all villages. Digital Sakshara Abhiyan aims to increase digital literacy. Online study portals such as Swayam Prabha, and National Digital Library are helping students as well as teachers in upskilling as well as providing quality resources. The new education policy 2020 proposes integration of technology in a big way for enhancing learning outcomes. Efforts in this regard need to be more galvanized so that an equitable digital ecosystem is put in place in our country. And Corona has taught us due lessons in this regard. The government and the private sector needs to work in appropriate models for collective effort to enable a digital India which gives every citizen her or his due. Time is the essence. Sri Shankaracharya has unified and established several currents of Hindu thought and philosophy into Advaita philosophy. This principle of non-dualism is all about realizing the Atman with merging with the Brahman, the ultimate truth. It is a path towards self-realization or moksha within one's lifetime. Digitalization is the way to move forward. It's a powerful tool to lift the norms of our living to a new normal. Its objective shall not be mere adding to material comforts. It should be used to reduce the drudgery of living and enhancing an individual's contribution to the collective well-being in architecture of new digital norms. To fully realize these benefits of this powerful technology, the dualities in the form of difference of access and ability shall be removed. An order of digital haves and digital have-nots is not just not acceptable. Bridging this gap is immense, immediate task for all. So let us strive for a digital India that belongs to all and benefits all Indians and also the citizens of the world. I'm happy to know that the Adi Shankara group of institutions, situated in the hallowed land of birthplace of the Adi Shankaracharya, is nurturing and grooming the leaders for tomorrow. The Adi Shankara Digital Academy is the latest one in their endeavor towards empowering of the people through education. When the organizers have approached my office told me, sir, you have just recently only visited Adi Shankara Institute in Kannada. Normally, we don't go in such a short span of time. But knowing the importance of digital literacy and equipping people and the need for public-private partnership, because this should not be left to government alone. So the Adi Shankara education institutions have shown the way, I hope, that all the engineering and technology institutes across the country, some of them have already started, will take this movement forward. It should become a movement. Digital literacy. That should become a movement forward. And infrastructure, taking care of infrastructure. The duty of the government. That has to be kept in mind and it should be done by priority. I hope this academy will live up to the people's expectation and help create skilled manpower for 21st century needs of not only our country, but also across the globe. We were known as Viswaguru in knowledge. Our ancient education institutions, Nalanda, Takshashila, Pushpagiri, Vikramshila, many such. They have provided the needed knowledge. Students from across the globe, they came and studied here. Our boys and girls, they have the inherent skills. What is required is little upgradation. If you are able to upgrade, recognize the talent and promote the talent, our boys and girls, they will excel everywhere. That is the situation now worldwide. You see a lot of companies are headed by Indians. The reason is the talent, the knowledge of this civilization, of this land. So I hope the efforts of this academy will succeed. And I wish you all the very best. Thank you very much. Namaskar. Jai Hind. I launch this academy and wish it all the best. God bless you all.